Som den så está casado. Luz, você odiou. Luz que não gostei. Mas você amou meu sol mais brilhante. Depois, blooming at lover, não faz medo nada. Escuridão sem som. Como a pressão. Só para você ser com o tempo passar fundos neblina. Sinto parecer
Good morning, Hidden Brigade. Insane can here. Hello, radioactive Orca. Yes, guts are important. They're very important. We're back with some more The House in Fata, Morgana. I'm kind of tired this morning, but I thought I would try and do a stream. I thought that would maybe wake me up. I hope that's correct. Hello, night part. Where's my volume thingy? Thingy-ma-bob. There we go. Yeah, he's just gonna keep saying hi. It's just this never-ending vicious cycle. Help! Help! Yes. Yes, I said yes. This is after that sequence, right? Okay, yeah, it is. Good. How are you doing this morning, radio? Oh, I'm just like looking at stuff here. Okay. I'm just getting comfy too. Another thing I've noticed about my mic, you're doing well this evening, and konbanwa, is that it picks up everything off, or I'm using the standard stand that comes with the Yeti mic, and it's the most, you'll see everywhere, anyone who talks about this mic, it's the most awful mic stand you could ever use. Like, you should never use it. Except I don't have anything else, so I'm using it. See, I don't mind the music, but again, for reading over, it's a little distracting when it's got vocals in it. Reporting from my wooden chair. Nice. Nice. You do you. God, you were adorable back then. And short to boot. But now, you've hardened so much. I was flabbergasted when I next saw you, dressed all fancy from head to toe. You'd become quite the smug little bastard, I'd thought. You sure weren't that little kid anymore. You have quite the memory. Well, yeah, I don't forget my promises, and I'd never forget I said I'd always be by your side. The question is, did you remember? I did. I remember every word you said that day. And as I said, I left Casa Nostra as it was. Though it is quite some distance away now. I imagine if we went back and did a little work on it, we had it looking like just old times. And Nero? About a year after you left, he suddenly disappeared. And just for the record, I did take care of him as you told me to. I'm guessing he got in a fight with another stray or something. I searched, but could never find him. Ah, well. It has been more than a decade. Not everything's gonna be exactly the same. You, however, haven't changed a bit from the girl you were all those years ago. Neither have you. Sure, you seem different on the outside, but at your core, I believe you haven't changed at all. Still the same old Jacopino. Could you not call me that? Hahaha. I have changed quite a bit, unlike you, and I am well aware of it. Say, Jacopo, do you consider me supportive? Of everything you could have said, of course you are. You're constantly supporting me, past and present. You are proof of the existence of a kind of friendship that can transcend gender, blood, and any other distinctions. You know, it's honestly kind of bizarre seeing you without a stick up your ass. Wow, harsh words. Come on now, hear me out. You almost had me blushing there. Anyway, before you put that stick back out there, tell me something. Am I still your only ally? You are. Of everyone in this mansion, I'm the only one? Yes. If she would at least have a little more. The madame? I didn't actually intend to treat her like that. Believe me, Jacopo, I know. I mean, from a girl's perspective, what you did is pretty awful. But hey, I'm not a girl, according to you anyway. I will always be by your side, no matter what, or on your side. God, I feel as though I'm being consoled. That's what I was going for. I should have never opened up to you. Hey, now's probably not the best time to bring this up, but I have a letter. A letter? Written by the madame, here. A letter from my wife? Let me see it. He looks so angry in this photo of him, or picture of photo, the picture of him. What the hell am I reading? I was considering keeping it a secret, but having seen it, I thought hiding it from you might only hurt you more, so I decided it was best to show you. Who is this? Who is this letter for? It's as if, but I can't... I love you? Who is she writing to? I don't know this man. Take a deep breath, Jacopo, and listen to me. The madame is having— I told you, I called it! I called it, guys! I called it! She's totally like, she's totally turning the madame, like her madame against him. She's trying to break up the relationship. Like make things negative. I knew it! Maria, you ho— yeah, she's too nice to like both the characters, and she's always telling the madame like how she's like rooting for her and stuff like that, but it's too good to be true. And good morning to you, secret agent. How was your stream? I think I saw you streaming Dark Souls. I thought actually, haven't you played through Dark Souls 3, or are you just like trying to finish it up or something? But yeah, I knew it. I called it. I totally called it. Still streaming. Oh, wait, then what are you doing here? You're just saying hi. Well, hi. Hello, thanks for stopping by, dude. Hanging out. That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, we just found out that Maria is a fucking hoe bag. Fucking hoe bag. I'm waiting for PvP session to start. That's cool. I don't know if I ever do like Dark Souls, I probably won't ever touch the PvP stuff. I suck at PvP. I haven't changed a bit. If you seriously believe that, then I've got news for you, pal. Anyone who acts exactly the same as they did in the past is doing just that. Acting. Much like I do around you. You won't have a choice. Oh, okay. Inky PvP secretly. Or, oh, PvP secret. I guess I could. Like, set it to, like, friends only or something? Because, he isn't my stimulus. See, I'm putting you against each other, like Maria. Oh no. Look at Maria, she looks so evil here. I totally called it though, eh? Like, do you remember when I was like, oh, I'm gonna predict something here. I think she's totally like gonna backstab the girl in white. The girl with white hair. Actually, this has lyrics in it too, so I'll leave it there. There, I'm like looking at the music levels. Just to make sure it's not like overpowering my mic. Yeah, you said Jacopo was being brainwashed? No, I didn't say he was being brainwashed. I just knew that because like he never talks to his wife, and then Maria seems to be like the go-to between them. Yes, gaslighting. Well, actually no, that's not entirely gaslighting. Gaslighting is when like someone remembers something one way, and then the person that they're like remembering about, they might be like, oh no, you are totally wrong about that, you're remembering things wrong, or that never happened, well, when it actually really did happen. So that's more like an example of like actual gaslighting. when you're like trying to convince the person that those things never happened and they're like liars. Whereas Maria here is like more kind of controlling like what kind of information she's feeding to both people, right? The proportions are so off, her face looks so weird here. No, it looks fine. Well, it looks fine. What are you talking about? This is a professional artist who does these. And yet you come along and you're like judging. I think it's like the angle though, like she's tossing her head up a little bit. Our friendship will never change. Ha! What a fucking joke. Whoa. That really changed. You picked the wrong girl to put your trust in. And they call you astute. Can you taste the fucking irony? Well, that just makes things easier for me. Oh, so she's actually... Okay, for some reason, I didn't know what her motives were, but I was wondering if she was like just trying to take over the household or something. Well, maybe she could still, but I thought she actually liked the master, but looks like she doesn't. Why did it switch from French sounding to Russian sounding? The music? I'm listening to it. Oh, it ended. I mean, it did sound angry, but yeah, you were right. Because I thought it was French, but I wasn't really paying too much attention to it. Hello, text. How are you? Long time no see. We're doing a visual novel, so it's just gonna be mostly reading on my end. The vocals aren't any language. Gibberish! Oh, you think it's like a made-up language? No. Really? Here, I'll turn it up. Wait, that's already maxed. Oh, that's cool. A drawing tablet? Did you get like a tablet, the kind of tablet, I'm trying to like think of words here. Did you get like a monitor type tablet, or did you get like a normal type tablet that you draw on, but it doesn't display anything on it? I have a tablet, but I want to get one day I want to get like a monitor type tablet. That'd be cool. But I mean, for now, I should probably content myself with using the no screen type. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, those are a little cheaper. Although, like the screen type tablets are, you can get one that's fairly affordable, I think. Noon. Hello, Vivi. I can't connect it to any language. I concluded is gibberish. It turns out otherwise you can forever slap it in my face. That's where my left foot is not language. Figured I better get a cheaper one before going crazy. Okay. But I feel like when you're drawing on like a monitor type one versus the non-monitor type one, it's gonna be different. Because you have to get used to like looking at a different screen. So they're like two different styles of like drawing, but I guess it's not a big deal. You can adapt. If you were like really wanted to get into that stuff or make a career out of it or something. Anyhow, yeah, you're right. I can't figure out what language this is. Meanwhile, there's me with the mouse. Oh god, you did pretty good with the mouse. But yeah, imagine if you like invested in a really cheap tablet radio. It'll make a big world of difference if you can get a tablet. Versus like sticking to the mouse. You will in the future, I guess. Tablets don't have to be expensive, you know. You can get a really cheap one, and it'll be, I mean, you can get one that's like not even like pressure sensitive, and so it'll be like similar to drawing with a mouse anyways. But at least you'll have like you'll be able to like draw with a pen and stuff, and it'll be more intuitive feeling. Yeah, okay, anyways. this music. Turn it down. I got the Huon 1060p for 80. That's pretty good. Oh, okay. Huon I think is a decent brand. That's a Chinese brand, right? Yeah, the tablet I have is an older one, but it's still really good. It's the Wacom tablet. It's a Wacom tablet, so I forgot you used to be a bit invested in art. I wasn't really super invested. I'm just really more a hobbyist. I used to draw a lot when I was a kid. I kind of grew out of it, but I thought about like going back into it. But you know, I don't want to embarrass myself with my noob skills. What music was that? I don't know, Vivi. We were trying to figure out what it was. That's why we were sitting here not like playing. Like, secret is slab squatting. What the hell is slab squatting? Slab squatting. But yeah, I think Huon would be like the brand I'd want to get a monitor type for, because it's pretty cheap through that brand, and supposedly they're really good. I think Pixel Puppy recommended that brand, and he has one, I think. I would like to listen to it for a moment. Oh, okay, here. I'll turn it up for you. We'll just sit here for a moment. My YouTube video will suffer because people will be like, there is too much chatter in the middle of the video when I just wanted to watch the gameplay. And I'll be like, fuck you, I don't care. Just kidding. I think he wanted to do a Slav squat, but failed miserably. Oh, Slav squat. Okay, not slab squat. Okay. Yeah. The Slav squat. Mainly because he isn't from Eastern Europe. I'm trying to remember the words to this song. No, I can't even do it. Fuck you, I know how to Slav squat. But you didn't Slav squat. It was a slab squat, like a slab of concrete or something, or the marble slab, like ice cream. I hate that this lady just has her mouth. The previous screen, she didn't have her mouth open, but Radio was saying how, I don't know, he thought that her head looked kind of distorted looking. As a Southeastern European, I can tell you that no, you cannot. Oh, sorry. I think I can Slav squat. You're just supposed to have your feet flat on the floor, right? Can't right understand, but it sounds familiar. Does it sound German, Vivi? It is gibberish. Yeah, it doesn't really sound like anything to me either. Okay, anyways, I'm moving on. Well, that just makes things easier for me. Oh, and Vivi, so we found out, we just confirmed that Maria is two-timing, like she's not telling the truth to them, and she's making, like, she's kind of dividing the relationship. Wait. Oh, I didn't know that the mouse wheel actually advances it. Wow, I could use the mouse wheel instead. I don't use the mouse though because I don't want the mouse to show up in on the screen. Backlog. So, what's her face? The white-haired girl, we don't know her name still. She asked Maria to take Jacopo a letter from her, and so she gives it to Jacopo. Actually, I don't know if she gave her letter, but then Jacopo reads the letter and he's all like, who is this guy? And then Maria's like, she's having an affair. Dun dun dun. Can't hear her. He's talking over it. Fine. You want me to shut up and just... Here we go. We're gonna listen to it for a bit. And hello, Andy. Portuguese? That makes no sense. It might just be a made-up language, or just, yeah, a made-up song with like partial makeup language. Like, it's kind of like in Nier, they have a made-up language there, but it's like it has influences from like French and stuff like that. Hello, Mr. Brown. Hello, everybody. Slav squats furiously. Yeah, you get your Slav squat on. Everyone gets their Slav squat on. Like, it switches language mid-word. Yeah, I think it's just a made-up language. It doesn't sound like anything to me either. No, it is Portuguese, but I swear it sounds like gibberish. It is Portuguese? I don't really know Portuguese very well, actually. So I couldn't really rightly say. Hold on, I gotta check on Freya. She's like furiously scratching at something. Hold on. Oh my god, that girl's mouth is very wide. I don't like it. This is exactly what Tex just said like 5 minutes ago. I could go ask my neighbor if it is Portuguese. I mean, you could. I had Portuguese sausage, it was fine. I think one time I had something that was like Portuguese, and it really reminded me like Chinese cuisine. And they kind of, I don't know, like it seems like they might have been like descendants of Chinese people, but I don't know. I love when they try to sing German, like all the Attack on Titan songs. Are they like Japanese singers trying to sing in German? Was it like Asuka trying to speak in German in the original series? It's supposed to be atrocious. Okay, some research reveals by the fellow Portuguese people that it is a poor attempt at Portuguese by the Japanese, that it sounds like gibberish. Oh, okay. And I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Addie. I said I was a little tired, but I was hoping that maybe I would wake up a little. The AOT songs are in German, but you can't understand it. It's funny. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of funny when they get like non-native or like someone who doesn't really know how to speak the language very well singing like in that language. When you read the lyrics, so they don't even make any sense either. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna move on from this song now. So now that we've decided it is Portuguese sung by people who don't know Portuguese. So does this count as me being incompetent or the Japanese being incompetent? A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, and thank you very much for that host, Line Break. Why have we been listening to this song? I don't know, because everyone wants to debate it. And also everyone like is annoyed by this really big mouth drawing, so I found that kind of intriguing. But my god, it's suffocating playing the good girl. That stupidly cheerful little ray of sunshine, Maria. Ugh, sickening. On the other hand, the payoff is fantastic. I can't stop. God, watching him lose his cool was incredible. My sides hurt just thinking about it. Wow, she's evil. So she actually hates Jacopo. And she's trying to get like revenge or something against him. The soy face drawings. Wait, what? The soy face. Best was at the end of Kampfer. The Pluchis start singing Ode and Die Freude by Beethoven. The Pluchis. See, I don't know Kampfer, so I don't know what Pluchis are. Thank you for that enormous host, you mean. Thank you. Yes, enormous. Absolutely, like, gigantic. I don't even know what to do with it. And enjoy your lurk, radio. You're telling me, you're telling me she wrote this? Who else could have written it? It's in her handwriting. Why? Why? Why must she continue to betray me? It's so funny that she wrote this letter to him, and like, he doesn't even recognize that this letter is to him. What is this weird dating sim? It's called the house, wait, what is it called? The house in Fata Morgana. It's not really much of a dating sim. But we can pretend, I guess. Has she not taken enough already? What else could she possibly want from me? I told her to stay away from my gatherings. I had the rose garden torn down. And yet still, she finds other men? I warned her, told her it wouldn't happen again, that she betrayed me one more time, I'd kill her. MH stuffed animal. What does MH mean? MH to me means like Monster Hunter. The toy? Oh, okay. The plushies? Oh, plushies. I was able to drink my coffee without having GERD. Wait, what is GERD? That sounds familiar. Gastric, esophageal, something like is bad. The toy just oh, okay. I see. Jacopo. Out of my way, Maria. I have to talk to her. Ask her what this letter's about, who this man is. And depending on how she answers. Hold it, Jacopo. Calm down. Silence. How am I supposed to stay calm right now? Listen to me. Relax. You try to talk to her right now, and you aren't going to get anywhere. You're aware of just how frenzied you are, aren't you? Besides, you think she's going to tell you the truth even if you do manage to ask? Of course not. She may look all prim and proper, but that's not the real her. I don't think she's a bad person, but not a bad person. The woman who wrote this letter to another man. She crossed the line, you hear me? I agree with you there. She's gone too far with this letter. But remember, she's your wife and the daughter of a noble. Basically acid reflux vomit. Ah, okay, yeah. Do you often get that with coffee? I guess I'm kind of in the same boat. Like if I drink too much like coffee, that could happen to me too. I find strong coffee tends to upset my tummy. You know exactly what will happen if you lose control of yourself and do something to her. It's not gonna look good for you. She may be nobility, but I have the Koska. We have our own way of taking care of these kinds of problems. Still, it's plain as day it'll make a bigger mess. No one else knows about this yet. Are you telling me to act like nothing's happening when she so blatantly disrespects me? Jacopo, could you let me take care of it? I'm friends with the madame, you know that. She'll listen to me. So I'll make sure it gets through to her just how much you care about her. I couldn't ask you. It would be disgraceful. That's nothing to be ashamed of. What did I tell you? I am on your side, and you're on mine. We're in this together. You can ask me things you couldn't ask others to do. I have tight lips. Anything you ask, I'll keep absolutely under wraps. Damn it. You're right. Yes, you're right. I'm well aware that I always lose myself in her presence. If I try talking to her now, I probably will do something rash, yes. I'll make sure everything works out, got it? You and the Madame can go back to the way things used to be so you don't have to suffer anymore. I'll take care of it. I'm the only one who understands your pain, and I'm the only one who can help you out of it. Maria. Oh, don't make that face, Jacopino. Ugh. Thank you, Maria. Please, let her know that even if she is seeing other men, and even if she does silently mock me for not being of noble blood, that I still love her. That I don't want to raise my hand against her. You love her? That's a riot. You're too busy chasing your stacks of paper. You don't have what it takes to truly love a woman. I will say, though, I was surprised you lost your head that badly. Quite the little crush you've got on her. You could just sit down and talk to her like a rational human being, and presto, all your problems would be solved. But you can't even manage that, which is why you're in this predicament. Once you're convinced of something, Jacopo, you never let go of it. And she's too timid to speak up for herself. Sorry, Madame. I got nothing against you. I just didn't expect things to go quite this well. There's no stopping now, not when I've got this much momentum. Also, watching a pretty girl like you break down gives me goosebumps. You're still convinced I'm the only person you can trust. She's devious. Damn, I hate this lady. Yeah, I wasn't sure if we could trust her when we first saw her, and I saw the way she interacts with the white-haired girl. I think we found the archetype for the description of a bitch. I'm gonna be here, but I'm gonna be unable to text. I'm using full PPE starting now. Full PP? Full PP? I don't know what full PPE is. Or are you going to pee? This isn't usually something people talk about, though. Going to go use their full PP. Coffee. Yes, coffee's good. So, just to sum up the story for anyone who's kind of new here, this is the girl that this is his wife, and she's the one that wrote the letter, and she's like kind of two-facing her, telling her that she's on her side and everything, because everyone like in the mansion like basically hates her or treats her like really badly. So she's basically the white-haired girl's only friend, or who she thinks is her only friend in the mansion, when really the truth is the opposite of that. How did he react to that letter? Well, yeah, about that. Would he not take it? Oh no, he took it. Just, don't feel bad about this, Madame. He said he's too busy with work, and tossed the letter aside. I told him to make sure he writes you a reply, but he hasn't gotten around to it at all. I see. That's a shame. It kills me to see you like this, Madame. I don't get why he has to be so heartless. Not even taking a little bit of time out of his day to read the letter you poured your soul into writing. It's unacceptable. I'm sure he really is busy. He did not throw it away though, did he? I imagine he means to read it when he has more time. Madame, after everything he's done to you, you still think he means well? I have faith. My timing was poor, that's all. I believe in him. I believe that the day will come when he gives me his attention again as he did before. Madame. So, could I ask you to believe with me, Maria? To have faith that he will once more show me his love, and that mine will reach him? Something tells me that it'll all work out if you pray for it. Yeah, okay. If you're fine with me praying, I'll pray. I'll get down on my knees for you, Madame. I'll have faith. Thank you. I would like to write another letter. When it is complete, could I ask you to deliver it to him? I'll give him as many as you want. As many as it takes for you to get through to him. She reminds me of someone? Or she remembers me of someone? Reminds you of someone. Like a character or like a real person that you know? I should switch to my warmer tea. I have an ice cap. I don't know if it's doing so good for my throat. A character? Oh, okay. Like an anime character. You really ought to learn not to be so trusting, madame. Take a real close look and you'll see exactly who it was that ground your happy little life into dust. Thank you, Maria. I'm the reincarnation of the Mother of God. Oh God, I can't hold back the laughter. This is a stage of my own creation. We didn't have enough actors, so the playwright had to take on a role herself, but that only adds to the excitement. Yes, this is all my masterpiece. You're just ignorant puppets dancing to my tune. From the first shot to the last, blind to whose finger is sitting on the trigger. Listen to me, Jacopo, and try to keep your head. I saw the madame meeting with another man behind your back. You know the arch in the rose garden? The far side's out of sight from the mansion, making it a perfect place to hide. Oh, so she was the reason why the rose garden got torn down, because she was the one who told Jacopo that she was meeting men there, apparently. Because I was wondering about that. I was like, why would he even tear down the garden for her if he like loves her? I don't know, it just feels like I know someone like that. I mean, I'm sure she probably fills the archetype of like some evil villain who's like, you know, two-facing people, you know? I saw her back there. From the looks of it, the madame is having her meetings with one of the men who comes to your business gatherings. And they don't act like they're just friends. But just to be clear, I don't have any solid proof. So it'd be best if you didn't mention this to her yet. You wouldn't want to start throwing around accusations only to find out too late it was all a big misunderstanding. I'll get to the bottom of it, so you... I think the madam might have her eyes on several men. Being a woman, you know, I can tell these things. She's giving these suggestive looks, but to whom I can't pinpoint. A lot of people come in and out of the house after all. What? You want to keep her from leaving her room? That might be for the best. Inky. Yes? Yes, Phoebe? What's up? What's up? With so much going so well, it makes me think even God's on my side. You're going to bed? Okay. Good night, Vivi. Have a good rest. They could just talk it over with one another. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. Appreciate it. And hope you have a good rest. Good night. I guess meet. But they won't, and they're in deeper and deeper shit for it. Wait, what did I just read? They could just talk it over with one another, but they won't, and they're in deeper shit for it. Okay. This is true. She has a point. Like, they could just talk to each other, but they won't. So, she's been able to orchestrate this. Or a nice day wherever you are. Yeah, sure. A rest of your night. Wait, what do I usually say? I can't even remember what I usually say. A nice rest of your day, wherever you guys are in the world. You're the only one I can trust, Maria. And the timing that night, my god, it was perfect. Hey, Jacopo? I could just be misreading her, but something seems off about the madame. Like, she's been on edge or something. I tried to egg her into revealing what's going on, and she let slip that she might be going out somewhere tonight. She's not going with you, is she? You were going out to survey a construction site today, right? Then I'd suggest you get that taken care of quickly. A dance? At this time of night? Yep, and since it's so late, no loud music. All you get is a little whistling courtesy of me. But this room is too small for... We'll use the Great Hall. Wouldn't that put us in everyone else's way? He probably would complain about the noise too. No need to worry. Jacopo's out inspecting some factory or something today. After that, he's got a meeting, so he'll be staying the night elsewhere. I thought you would not be back until tomorrow. And how would you know that? No, forget that. Does my staying the night elsewhere, have any effect on you? You were just waiting for this opportunity, weren't you? No, what would I possibly want you out of the house for? I'm sure you know better than anyone. What? What is that smell? Perfume? When did you get perfume? And I have to say, you seem to be having quite the time. Look at you. You're out of breath. Red as a beet. I made the right decision coming back. Where the hell were you going? I'm sorry. This is all my fault. If I hadn't asked you to dance, then me bringing the perfume only made things worse. No, you need not feel bad about anything, Maria. Everything you did was with my best interests at heart. She doesn't even suspect me in the slightest. And I was able to put that perfume to great use. That money-sucking leech Tommaso showed up at the perfect time, too. I'm pretty sure that's when Jacopo started getting actively violent. A jealous man is a wonderful thing, always imagining the worst and making matters worse for it. Wow, is that you, Thomas? It's been so long. What brings you here? Oh, looky who it is, little Miss Campanella. It's a surprise. Didn't expect to see you this side of the Great Blue. Oh, you know, I've been giving Jacopo a hand. Huh, well, color me impressed. After what happened, I wouldn't have thought you'd want nothing to do with him. That was between our parents. Jacopo didn't have anything to do with it. Well, would sure be nice for all you younger generation to go through, life without nothing to spark that kind of powder-like keg. Not that it's my place to talk. No need to worry yourself about any of that. So, what brings you here, Thomas? I'm a little, you know how it is. Having a bit of trouble staying afloat. Ah, I see. So you're here to beg for offerings? Pretty shameless, Tommaso. No point in having shame if it ain't making money. Toss that out with the chamber pot. Hell, might make things easier if I just quit being human altogether. Are you that hard for cash? Unfortunately, numbers were supposed to go up, but for some reason they ended up going down instead. Haha, might be best if you kicked the gambling habit. Now, that's like telling me to go off myself. Huh, I bet. So say, Tommaso, maybe I could pitch in a bit too? Oh, you mean it? That'd be a huge help. There's certainly not a scrap of shame in you. However, in exchange, I'd like you to do something for me. Someone whose face needs a visit from my fists? Depending on the number, I could also possibly cut him into chunks and toss him into the ocean. Whoa, keep it clean. I'm not asking you to do anything like that. What is it then? Something a lowlife like me can do? It'll be easy, and it's nothing bad either. You're going to go talk to Jacopo, aren't you? Well, there's something I'd like you to tell him while you're at it. You know he's married, right? He can get pretty nasty with his wife, though. That's so. Sounds like she's got it rough. She does, and she's religiously devoted to him, too. I've been trying to nudge things in the right direction to get her back on good terms with him, but I haven't had much luck. Ain't that something the two of them should work through? Normally, yes, but it's reached the point where I can't bear to sit back and watch anymore. I don't like seeing the two of them in pain. I want to do something for them. How noble. You're pretty devoted yourself, little lady. I'm not important right now. Just doing the right thing. But the thing is, Jacopo won't hear a word of it. I figured maybe you, being a man, might be able to get through to him a little better than me? Doubt he'll listen to me either, to be honest. Come on, you used to be really close though. And I doubt he hates you. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Anywho, talking's something anyone can do. So what do you want me to tell him? I need you to give him a bit of a scolding. Tell him the madame came to you asking for advice and that she accidentally let slip that the way he treats her day to day causes her grief. I've never met this wife of his before, you know. It works even better that way. She's so downtrodden she can't talk to anyone about it, and she thought that maybe you, being family, might be able to help. She's never met you, but she's still latched onto the ray of hope. And I'm sure when Jacopo finds out she brought it up with family, he'll know he can't keep mistreating her. Things like this, they'll hit home harder when they come from someone on the outside. You make a decent point. Just remember, little lady, all I can do is bring it up with him. Can't guarantee it'll change nothing. That's all I need you to do. Thanks a bunch, Tommaso. Oh, right, one more thing. This is some perfume that's grown quite popular recently. Ask him to give it to the madame as a gift. If he won't take it, you keep it. Give it to another woman. Sell it. Whatever you want. Perfume, eh? Very thoughtful of you. Women do like getting gifts like that. Yes, we do. If Big Bad Jacopo gives her some of that, they'll be lovebirds again before you know it. I'm sure of it. Hehehe. Never thought the day I'd come when I got to play Cupid. Now I'm starting to get kinda excited about this. Stay focused, Thomas. And thanks! Also, you didn't hear any of this from me. I'm fine just pulling the strings from the shadows. Dun dun dun. Their relationship's in complete shambles. And Jacopo still insists he fucking loves her. And the madame says she still believes in him. Seriously, how stupid can you be? Poor Jacopo. Poor madame. Now then, let's see where this boulder rolls to next. And how far it keeps rolling. Naturally, I will be nudging it along its way. Because, after all, a play lives or dies by the director's hands. Master, are you shocked? Or do you instead lament this development? I was deeply sorrowful, though to a lesser degree about Maria's true intentions and more my shameful inability to recognize her machinations. What's up, Roger? How you doing? We're continuing our house in Fata Morgana, and we're like in the third story. And we found out the plot twist to it. Or part of the plot twist. At the time, I too believed that Maria was the white-haired girl's one and only ally. It was not until everything had drawn to a close that I discovered the truth. Then I now know how the tale ends, you say? Yes, that is correct. Well aware that it was not the case, I told you the story in a way that suggested she was on the white-haired girl's side. Oh my. I wonder if that constitutes lying to you, Master. I merely wanted to present the events to you in order, starting from the beginning, when Maria's ill intentions were still veiled in shadow. I wanted you to know the same feeling of consternation I had experienced. You're good? That's good. This is a cool drawing. She looks sad. Sad bears about some letter. Here, let's Serve. Hold on. PPE equals personal protective equipment. And this story is full of evil. All the stories have been full of like treachery and sadness and tragic ends and stuff like that. So like each story is supposed to be like very tragic. So it's not like after like playing this long, it doesn't really feel very horror-ish. But I mean, it's still, the stories were still pretty good, so I don't mind. They just weren't really as much horror as I was hoping for. Hello, my belly for and I hap. You were hap, or you're happy. Do you need hap? Hap? Oh, hold on. The white-haired girl continued to write letter after letter. They were all addressed to her dear husband, detailing her ever-persistent love for him. Ooh, this soundtrack. Very hap. And her desire for their relationship to return to what it once had been. My beloved, I am sure your hands are quite full right now. But that is fine. It does not change my love for you. Do you remember the day we went out together? That was perhaps the most wonderful day of my life. I had a truly incredible time. I still treasure the gift you gave to me, for it is the one and only present I have received from you. That reminds me, Maria tried to teach me how to dance. I doubt I will ever progress beyond being laughably bad, but it would be nice if someday you and I could dance together. Perhaps when you have a little respite from work, we could go out again. Maybe take a carriage somewhere a little farther away. And we could dine at a restaurant more to your liking. Although, I think the cuisine at the other restaurant was exquisite personally. Do I perhaps have an unrefined palate? Maria altered the letters before delivering them, however. She altered the letters! Yeah, because I was just thinking the contents of that letter as she wrote it, I was like, that doesn't sound like she would have written it to anyone else but her husband. Had to remove my gear because my hair was blocking my eyes. Oh no. Do you need a haircut, Mr. Baum? Do you need a haircut? Personal protective equipment. So like what kind of equipment are we talking about here? And I mean, I'm assuming you're working in the at the pharmacy? Are you working in the pharmacy? How long is your hair, Mr. Pillow? Very hap. What did you have for lunch? Was it lunch or dinner? Dinner? Wait, what time is it? Yeah, dinner. It's 8:30 for you. No, I got my hair cut, but my hair is long. Lol. Oh, you just like to keep it long? Why not just shove the hair back? So that your hair is not blocking your vision. Something disgusting. Wait, but you said you were happy and you were full. Normally you're gonna be happy because you ate something delicious. Like 6 inch long at the moment. I just started growing it. Oh, okay. 6 inches. Oh, yeah, it was pretty long for a dude. For a dude. Let's see how Maria altered the letters. She changed the addressee from Jacopo to another man. She would cut away the top of the page with Jacopo's name on it, and in the space below, write a different name. She could not have mimicked the white-haired girl's handwriting for the full length of a letter, but Maria could make a single name look adequately similar. Who's to say Mr. Pillow isn't actually a girl in disguise? Lol. I mean, this is true. I don't think I've never seen Mr. Baum, so I don't know. I see you're playing Fata Morgana. Yep. Hello, Azirlin. How are you? I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you. Or has it? I don't know. But hello. How are you? It's nice to see you. And it would, after all, be quite difficult to notice minor discrepancies in such a small quantity of text. Oops. What did I just push? Oh no. I pushed something. Oh, window. Oh, Jacopo looks so, tortured. Again? Another letter? Why does she keep writing these? To Jacopo's eyes, the modified letters look so like professions of love for another man. The more she inscribed of her feelings for Jacopo, the greater the turmoil grew within his heart. I know, Maria. Fucking Maria. And her, like, meddling. Even though her love was directed toward him. I can't believe what I'm reading. A restaurant more to your liking? I knew it. You have been going out with other men, all the while pretending to be chaste in my presence. I still treasure the gift you gave to me? God's sake. You have to be fucking kidding. Ugh. But I've ensured she can't leave that room. She'll never see this man again. In time, she'll let go, and so will he. Ah, listen to me. Resigning myself to the hope that everything will fix itself. How did I end up like this? Such a pitiful man I've become. On the surface, Maria acted quite heartbroken at the sight of their suffering. But when she returned to her room, the walls echoed with her cackles. This chapter made me cry. The last chapter, okay, the first story was kind of like, okay, that's sad. And then the second story was like, it got even more sadder. So it's just like a recurring theme where it's like each new story is going to be even more tragic than the last. No, why is Maria doing this, by the way? So Maria is an old-time friend to Jacopo, and their families, like their parents are, I think, supposed to be like kind of like, I don't know, they don't really explain it too well, but I guess they're like feuding families. Like their families don't really like each other. I guess they're like different families within the mafia. You can think of it that way or something. Or the Cosca, as they call it during this time. I think the Cosca then eventually becomes the mafia as we know it. Maria wanted to get back at Jacopo, yeah. But like, what the hell did Jacopo do though? I thought the feud was between their parents, so it's like I don't really understand too well like what it was that Jacopo did, but maybe they'll reveal it later in the story. But she does imply that she's trying to get revenge against Jacopo and his family or something. More sadder. Yes, because he ate her ice cream once. I too would do the same over ice cream. You would orchestrate like lovers strife between a couple just over ice cream. Have you been looking through the backlogs? Not really. I only ever look at the backlog for like if I forget what I just read. But why would I need to look back at the it got interesting in chapter 2. Actually, I don't even know what chapters. Does it even tell you what chapter is what? I don't really know like what chapter is what. Because I don't think they mark the text to what chapters they belong to. This is 3? Oh, okay. You're talking about the stories. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this one is the 3rd story. Or are you talking about the chapter within this? Second is the beast story where you can yeah. No, that's what I was saying, like the first story, second story, and third story. I don't call them chapters, I just call them like stories. But like, what do you mean like I would have to, why would I be going back in the backlogs? It's like I've just been reading it, so I don't really need to go into the backlog. Good. That's what I did with when this friend of mine ate my bamboo shoots from my rib. The bamboo shoots is the best stuff. How dare he? How dare he eat it? But anyways. But when she returned to her room, then okay, we read that. She derived a great deal of entertainment from their squirming. The more they writhed in anguish, the deeper her satisfaction grew. And both the white-haired girl and Jacopo continued to place their confidence in Maria, the one responsible for everything. The white-haired girl had never possessed a sense of distrust, and so she took everything Maria said as truth, continuing in her agony to write Jacopo letters. Letter after letter after letter. My beloved, are you still tied up with your work? It has been some time since we both last saw one another, so I know not what you have been doing of late. I only hope you remain in good health. I would, if possible, prefer to tell you everything in person, but I do not have the courage, so these letters are my only option. Wait, how would she even tell him in person? I thought he's had her locked up in the shed. Like, I thought she wasn't even allowed to, like, come and go. Am I adequately expressing my feelings, my love for you? If you have the time, I would appreciate a response. You're never gonna get a response, though. Not as long as I'm intercepting them. There's no way I'm allowing these or your love to get to him. I could just stop reading them. It would certainly make things easier. But if I don't, my imagination will run wild, fantasizing about her writing to this other man and what she might be putting in her correspondence. I'd be better off knowing the truth than torturing myself with fantasy. It's the better option. Jacopo accepted every letter Maria delivered without fail. He would merely nod as he accepted it, his face contorted in discomfort, and then pore over the text when he was alone. I assume he did not want her to see his heart sinking into darkness. Had he put his trust in his wife rather than Maria, he would have almost certainly been able to realize the letters were directed at him, despite the altered recipient name. Everything she wrote about concerned him, after all. How could anyone who had lived as isolated a life as her have so many identical experiences with two distinct men? Why could he not find it in himself to trust her? Perhaps doubting her was simply easier. If you were in his position, would you trust her? Would you maintain faith in her, the woman who had waited so long? Would you believe the feelings she professed for you were genuine? She continued writing letters, day after day, week after week, without hiatus. She had, by and large, ran out of things to say, but that did not put an end to her letter writing. She simply repeated what she had written before. Nevertheless, they did not see one another in person. The white-haired girl, forbidden from leaving her shed, could only wait for her husband to pay her a visit. My beloved, there is a little bit of fog out today. Weather like this reminds me of my home country. I was born on an island perpetually covered in a thick fog. I'm not saying I would like to return, but thinking about it does make me feel rather homesick. Does that happen to you? That reminds me, aside from that one time, you've not told me much of your homeland. It would be nice if we could pay it a visit together sometime. Speaking of which, before I left, an exhibition of some sort was held there. I was unable to attend, but perhaps you had the chance when it was near you? I imagine you would have with your interest in new technology. Next time you have a chance, I would enjoy hearing what they had on display. An exhibition? Aha, that's right. There was one. It was a year ago. Got quite a bit of attention, since it was supposed to have been held in Paris. I was busy preparing for our wedding. I had no time to attend an exhibition. And while I was doing that, giving you, a woman I had never met before, my full attention, you were giving yours to a different man. Has this been going on for that long? Had he simply stepped up and taken action, He could have put an end to the stream of letters. Each of them gave rise to further misunderstanding. He needed merely ask the white-haired girl in person to whom the letters were addressed, whether what they described were true, and the twisted threads of his confusion would have all been unraveled. The music's really good in this novel. Yeah, the music is good though. It is. Wait, wrong chapter. Throw Maria into the ocean. Oh, I mean, we could still throw her into the ocean. She's the evil one. Stop crying, Zerlin. Here's have some ice cream. Here's some ice cream. The ice cream. That looks more like tea. I'll have some tea too. But he made no such effort, relying instead on Maria to serve as his intermediary. Yeah, it's like, all this could be cleared up if he would just go and talk to her. So, like, I have to say, I'm blaming Jacopo for all of this, because he won't even go and talk to her. And he's put her in a position where she can't even come to visit him, because she's physically locked up in her own room. So it's like, it's sad. It's really sad. Because I'm sure if she had the choice to like go and see him, maybe she might have summoned enough courage to go and see him in person. I don't know. I feel as though I have now at long last come to understand just what kind of man Jacopo was. While he had a great deal of pride in his capabilities, he had far less confidence in himself as a person. If he'd had faith in himself, perhaps he could have put faith in his wife as well. Had his pride not been so twisted, perhaps he would not have been so afraid of being hurt. Indeed, he was afraid. Afraid of being rejected by her. Afraid to face a reality where his beloved partner scorned him, where the woman he loved laughed at him disdainfully, where she and countless others mocked him. The thought of it paralyzed him. The environment in which he had been raised played a significant part in his state of mind, I expect. Occasionally, the name on the letter would change. Maria was making the white-haired girl out to be having affairs with multiple other men. She could never do any such thing, of course. But Jacopo, thinking Maria to be his only ally, believed everything she said. If I could figure out who this man is and where he resides, I could make him tell me every last detail about his relations with my wife. But what if that information went public as a result? If news of her infidelity spread and were to reach the Cosca? No, that twist. He did not want his DMs revealed. Or he was trying to get the other dude to reveal his DMs. And he's too much of a coward to confront her. She lied about who the letters were to instead of telling him they were to him. She didn't say. No, Maria actually would go and tamper with the letters too. Like she would, because the white-haired girl would always write Jacopo in the letters, but she would go and change the names out, so it made it look like the letters were addressed to someone. So I'm sure if like, I'm so sure like if he had just brought the letter to her the first time he saw it and just demanded who it was, she would have been like, I didn't write that. You'll see? Thank you. Okay, but could she modify them? Because then it would have been avoided had she mentioned the name like once or twice inside the letter. She did write his name in there. She would always address it to him, but they explained that Maria was able to change some of the names. Even though she couldn't copy her handwriting, she could make very small minor changes like names. So she would just like tweak the name a little bit. Where did it say that? I think she said somewhere. It was pretty far back now. See, modified letters. Here you go. Maria altered the letters before delivering. She changed the addressee from Jacopo to another man. She would cut away the top of the page with his name on it. And then below she would write a different name. Yeah. So she couldn't mimic it, but she could make names look different. So, yeah. Anyhow. Whoops. No, I missed something. I missed it. The fate of the Berzatis is in your hands, son. There's a limit to what we can accomplish on this tiny island. If we don't turn our attention outwards, we will wither away and die. And no, and not just this family. This whole land will find itself famished and emaciated, defenseless against invasion as we waste away. I won't stand by and watch my homeland crumble. Sure, our methods may be crude and not always worthy of praise, but they produce undeniable results. The unfortunate thing is, the previous capofamiglia was an incredibly reticent man. It took all he had to merely preserve his small chunk of the world. But I'm not like that, and neither are you. The most I can do is lay the foundation and make it easier for you to work, which means everything rests on your shoulders. Both the future of the Berzati family and the future of this country. It all falls on you. The marriage is happening too quickly? It would be madness not to hurry given the circumstances. You should be well aware of that. We need the Berzati name climbing the social ladder in short order, or we're going to have everything ripped out from under us. If the woman isn't to your liking, you can find another one that is. She's only going to be your wife in name. But listen to me, son. You must not allow her to fool around. What are the most vital things to have in our society? Money? Power? Yes, those are important. But what matters most is respect. No one's going to follow a capofamiglia they can't respect. They'll try to undermine your authority. Once someone deems you weaker than them, courtesy goes out the window, and that's a judgment that's near impossible to overturn. Betrayal spreads like a fire through a forest, and once that flame's lit, the both of us come crashing down. You must not let anyone look down on you. You must not let anyone think you're the kind of a man a woman can walk all over. If by any chance your fiancé is ever unfaithful to you, kill her before anyone finds out. Your place is above others. Climb to the top. Never be content with someone above you. Never forget the weight you carry on your shoulders. Oh no. Is she gonna die? This is your responsibility. The fate of the Berzatis in your hands, blah blah blah. Okay. Can't read all this. Poverty is the root of all evil. Editing, huh? Yep. She was modifying it. Okay, but it says that she cut the top of the letter off, meaning that the white hair girl didn't mention his name mid-letter, not even— Yes, she did. No, radio. She did. She would write his name throughout the letter, but like, she would just cut it off and then she would change the names throughout the letter. She could make like minor modifications to make it look like she was writing to another man. Oh, well, whatever. I don't care. She was modifying the letters enough that to make it look like they weren't addressed to Jacopo. This seems somewhat familiar, like the story. I don't think it's based on anything. It might sound like familiar because it's like a tragic love story. Oh god, I sure hope he doesn't kill her and only that she gets to explain the situation. Nah, I bet you, because all the stories have been tragic so far. You can't cut the names off in the middle. Not cutting out the names, she would probably modify it though. She couldn't, it literally just— oh my god, never mind. It literally said that Maria could change the names a little bit. She didn't cut them out, she just would change it. She probably erased it and changed it or something, I don't know. I must keep intercepting her letters. I must keep her locked up. I still have work to do. I can't allow anyone to learn about how she's disgraced me. Kill her? That's how my old man says to handle it. That's the last resort. It's not yet. Ah, god damn it. It's downright wrong for me to even be having these feelings for someone. Fuck. This is like one of the few this story is a lot more like swearing in it. Recent or events. Like what do you mean, like this story? This story takes place in close to the cusp of the 19th century. So it's like 18 something. 1880? Master? Your carriage is waiting outside. How are you coming along? Coming along? Oh, that's right. I had an inspection scheduled today. I'll be right out. Have him wait. Is something the matter, Master? You look a little hazy. I'm fine. If you're not feeling well, you should stay. I said I'm fine. It's not your job to try and infer my condition. Yes, sir. God damn it. Keep it under wraps. Act like normal. You can at least do that much, damn you. Take care on your trip, Master. Yeah. It's not the usual coachman. I also feel like I've seen him somewhere. Your fault. What? That we... Hey, speak up. Die, Jacopo Bersati! Oh no. No, Jacopo! Recent drama on Twitch. Oh, okay. Ain't his in-game drama enough for you, mate? Oh, ain't this enough game drama? I didn't want to be like Jacopo Radio. Master! There's a knife in your stomach. Oh god, someone, anyone. Silence. Don't make a scene. Call a doctor. Yes, sir. Now I remember where I've seen him before. That's right. I put his factory out of business. I needed it out of the picture to expand my own business. I guess he held a grudge about that. I should have been more careful. Blood flows with surprising abundance from a stab wound. It's not stopping either. Son of a bitch. This world is going white. Come on now. You have to be kidding. You didn't want to be an Italian man? Weird. Not revealing. Never mind. I feel like you guys are both on different pages. I know very well what kind of a man you are. You wouldn't hesitate to lead a blind man off a cliff if it furthered your own goals. You make money off of others' lives. You stand upon a mountain of corpses, cackling at everyone below you. For a man like you, love comes as naturally as flying. Guess what? You don't have any emotions, and you never have. You've always been this way. I was joking. I never said. It's okay. It's okay, guys. Let's just chill and read the story. Read the story. I was talking to Inky when I was joking. That I didn't want to be an Italian man. I don't know. I don't even know what you're going on about radio. Poor white-haired girl. I know, and we don't even know her name either. Jeez, what a crowd. Lol, lol, lol. My childhood was day after day of mockery. I guess this is Jacopo? You're just a bunch of nobodies trying to pretend your name means anything, they would say, sneering and glaring. Maria treated me as an equal, but she was the only one. I wanted to show them up, and to do that, I had to rise to the top, or at least high enough that I could laugh at them. My old man wasn't the only one who wanted that. I did too. I had to make them acknowledge that I had value as a man. Who actually wants to go through life being laughed at? I had to make them recognize that what I did had value, and I needed neither love nor compassion to do it. Or that's what I thought. This is a very close-up of a face. In the beginning, I only ever intended to use that woman. I simply needed her to build a name for myself. When she served her purpose, I could simply cast her aside. She cutie patootie? Yeah, she is. That's what I thought. Or rather, that's what I endeavored to make myself think. But deep down, I felt bad for her. I pitied this woman who was being made to marry a man she'd never even met before. I'm sure that what she really wanted was to have a regular marriage with someone she loved, but because her family wanted to cling to their name, she wasn't afforded that opportunity. I wanted to do something for her, and it didn't have to be anything grand. I genuinely wanted that. The day of our wedding was when I first saw her. Her face, partially obscured behind the veil, was gorgeous. And crucially, she was smiling at me. I had expected to find only gloom and despondency in her eyes, but instead, she smiled. The moment I saw that smile, I wanted it to be a permanent part of my life. I truly did want to ensure she always had a smile on her face. This reminds me of Nellie. Oh, that story? But that was a brother and sister though. Oh, I know. It's like Jacobo's an even bigger softie than, like, you know, he makes himself out to be. He's just an awkward softie who doesn't know how to express himself. Love reveals his true feelings. Yeah, but he never tells her that, and it's just like, ah, and she's so like honest and pure. It's just like, why? Ugh. He's a wimp. Yeah, like, why couldn't you just reveal that to her? Yeah, but she also ended up getting married against her will for the sake of the family's name. It wasn't against her will though, and you have to understand this, Radio. It was very normal. This was a very normal behavior back then to have arranged marriages, and you know, yes, sometimes it was forced, but sometimes, you know, like they understood that it was part of their duty and that they would accept it, and sometimes even that they would fall in love with, you know, each other. Did I ever say it was abnormal? You said against her will. It wasn't against her will. It was not against her will. Just saying. She didn't have any she didn't have any like strong feelings against the arranged marriage. Her family didn't have the wealth, and his had the wealth. Yeah, it's very common. It's very common for like the like old nobility, those that had the names, like the notorious, or not notorious, but they had the names, the old lineage, and then you have the nouveau rich who wanted the names, and they would, you know, marry into them. She literally said it is against my will. Wait, what do you mean? Where did you just see that? That she, you're gonna have to show me where she said it was against her will to marry, because I don't think she had any strong feelings against it. And sup, Omni, how you doing? Getting that work done? How about Omni? Nellie? Oh, sorry. You're talking about Nellie's marriage. Okay. Yes. Nellie definitely did not want to fucking get married because she was in love with her brother. That's why. Dude, that was against. Yeah, that was definitely against her will because she was in love with her brother, and she wanted her brother to like stick up for her and stuff. But yeah. Anyhow, is this my room? I'm alive? Damn it. Ugh. I feel nauseous. What time is it? The world's a blur. Big Daddy. working hard for that money. Working hard for that money. Suppo. Wait, we're now calling Omni O? We're too lazy to type 3 more characters. I think Omni has said that he's gotten before, because Omni was too long apparently, and now Roger has taken it to a new low of O. Of O, just O. So hot. I use 5 characters. The at doesn't count. It's not part of his name. Oh, Daddy. Moving on. Yes, this isn't his stream. Wait, so because this isn't his stream, he doesn't deserve his full name to be mentioned? It's like all you get is O now. Just O. Just an O. You mustn't get up. Wait. Why is she out of her room? Are they gonna make it up here, guys? Are they gonna make it up here? Is it your stream, though? Well, Roger's free to refer to anyone how he likes. As long as you're doing it respectfully. So, now the white-haired girl is in the same room with Jacopo. This is her chance to, like, you know, or this is their chance to, like, make it up to each other. Maybe. I'm just joking. Wait, does it look like there's plastic on the furniture? Or is that just, like, some weird filter on there? I think there's some weird filter. I didn't say. Dot dot dot. We're just putting words in your mouth. Exclamation mark. The doctor said bacteria entered your body through the wound. Because of that, you have a very high fever. What are you doing here? I was told you had been badly wounded, but thankfully it was not fatal. How did you make it out of... Pardon? Oh, I see. Maria opened it. Would you like some medicine to reduce the fever? It should help you feel better. Yes. No. Stay by my side for a little longer. Is there anything I can do for you? You can ask me anything. My hand. Your hand? Could you hold my hand? If you don't want to, that's fine. Like this? He's such a tsundere. He's just like, I want this. No, if you don't want to, like, fine, you know. Quote, you're going to destroy my insides. Oh no. We're getting kinking here with the black robe and the rope. Oh, clock tower. Is he? He is. Quote. Thank you, Omni, for doing that. I really appreciate it. It's kind of funny that the first quote popped up. Ugh. What kind of quote is that? Ugh. Ugh. Try again. Stinkers. Anyhow. Your hand is quite cold. Oh, that's such a tsundere thing to say. Your hand is quite cold. Like, complain about it. It was good at the time. I can't handle 3 guys. I can't even handle 2 guys. It's too much. If I had the opportunity to eat a cricket, I'd do it. Yeah, I still stand by that. If I had an opportunity to eat a cricket. Okay, not a live one though. Maybe if it was like cooked. It probably feels that way because of your fever. Ah. So, yes? I've done some regrettable things to you. Please forgive me. Wow, he's actually saying sorry. I never would have thought Jacopo would do that. Like, being so... I guess because he really loves her, though, right? I was like, why couldn't you just talk to her, like, in the beginning? Makes me mad. Why is that quote coming up again? People are retarded. I agree. I don't know what I was saying that about, but they can be retarded. We blew up the guy. Now we gotta tell his widow. To tell you the truth, from the moment I first saw you, I felt like you were what I had been searching for my whole life. Laugh if you'd like. I felt like I had finally found you. But I couldn't act around you the way I honestly felt. You should get some sleep. Could you keep holding my hand until I fall asleep? If you don't want to, that's fine. My hand is in yours. Thank you. You appear to be quite delirious, Master. Those are things you should be telling your wife, not me. Aww. No, it wasn't her. It wasn't her. So, I mean, that's why she's still locked away. This is one of the best ones. Oh, what? That we blew up the guy? Yeah. What about that witch in the mirror thing? Witch in the mirror thing. Giselle? Wait, what is this about Giselle? Duh, he died before he could tell her. No, he didn't die. He's still here. Wait, what's this about Giselle? Giselle. There's no Giselle character, is there? Oh wait, or you're talking about the maid. That's her name? We didn't know her name. It was all a dream. Of course it was. It wouldn't be that easy. And she would never come to my room. She's involved with other men. No, you dum-dum. She's locked in her fucking shed because you locked her there, you idiot. Makes me so mad. Remember when you chose the hand instead of the eye? The mirror. I don't know. I don't remember there was a witch in the mirror. I remember there was like a small scene and then I don't know. I don't know what came of it. I fucking God, I want to hit him. Jacopo, may I come in? I have another letter. Please, do not commit assault. Oh, there was no weird song here during the interlude. Go for a murder instead. Here, a knife. The white-haired girl's persistent letters did not improve anything, but simply stoked the flames of misunderstanding. This continued for several months. Months! So she's kept locked up, only given meals 3 times a day, and like he never goes to talk to her for months? How could like anyone stand that kind of like living, you know? You'd think he would go nuts. Though outside, the sun shone with the gentle warmth of spring, the cold, bitter winds of winter still relentlessly blew between Jacopo and his wife. Not allowed to leave her shed and never receiving a reply to her letters, the white-haired girl's only source of information was Maria. Week after week, her circumstances remained the same, but something else was beginning to show signs of change: her mental state. I mean, after months of it. It's pointless, madame. You're only wasting your time at this point. I saw him throw your letter into the fireplace. He's not going to read anything you write, no matter how much of your soul you pour into it. He cares more about money and work than love. That's the kind of man he is. Just give up and file for divorce already. Well, I guess she wants her. I guess she wants the white-haired girl to ask for divorce to like really like upset him. No human interaction except for Maria, the poor girl. I know, and she like completely implicitly trusts Maria 100%. Like, this girl is not even capable of any negative thoughts. This is like, she's too pure. Does she even wash? I don't know. She could have, I mean, back in those days, they would have been, they would have had to like heat up water and then fill up a tub and stuff, so. Let's just assume that she did. No, no. I will get through to him. Everything will go back to normal. I have faith. All my letters may go up in flames, but my faith will not be lost with them. As long as I keep writing, eventually I will get through to him. So I cannot stop. I cannot. Do you have any idea what he says about you, madame? Jacopo doesn't trust you in the slightest. He goes around calling you a witch. A man-eating devil woman. It's awful. There's no one as pure and as beautiful as you. He says I'm a witch? Listen to me, madame. He never for a second actually loved you. He just wanted the influence attached to your name. Wanted to mingle with the upper class. He used you. But last year when we went out together, he gave me the Finnegas wheel at the photography shop. He had the owner make it specially for me. He was just trying to win your favor. If he really cared for you, he wouldn't have gotten you a paper toy. He would have gotten you something like a ring or a necklace, or some perfume, a nice dress, something women really like. Has he ever given you anything like that? He doesn't have any feelings for me? I'm sorry. I just couldn't stand to see you going through this, but I don't know when to shut my fat trap. I went too far. The last thing I need to be doing is hurting you worse. You know, for everything I've said, your unwavering dedication is really impressive, madame. I know I've suggested you get a divorce, but to be honest, part of me kinda doesn't actually want you to split up. Despite knowing you staying with him is just causing you pain. You've made it this far. I'd like to see you make it all the way. Maybe he actually will start paying attention. Your sweetness can melt even his heart of steel. Yes, you're right. I will keep writing, and I will not divorce him. Yeah, all right. So please, keep delivering my letters to him. You are my only remaining connection to the outside world. Oh, yes, one more thing. If it is not too much trouble, could you tell me how he has been and what he's been doing lately? I do not have much else to write about, so if I could at least relieve him of some of his work-related stress, I am his wife after all. I should be able to do that much for him. I am his wife. Her dedication to him was perhaps closer to an obsession, but she did not seem to be conscientious of the fact that her obsession was killing her. She was visibly losing weight, and her spirit was breaking down. It is said that emotions fade with time, but the opposite can also be true. The act of waiting, of fervently believing for so many months despite the object of one's affections not returning them, can tear apart a person's heart, crush their soul, shatter their spirit. No matter how radiant, how thick-skinned they may be, with enough time, it will wear anyone down. No one is immune. Ugh, I dislike Maria so much. Maria's like, ugh, this bitch. No, but yeah, Maria should be thrown to the orcas. Yes. Lol. So this means that, sorry, I'm just getting a blankie. So this means that, oops. That the white hair girl wasn't even aware that her husband was fucking stabbed. No one's told her. And, no offense to, you know the main maid, the head maid, who's also the maid of the mansion. I know she said that she can't like interfere with things and stuff like that, so she just sits back and watches. But it's like, couldn't you at least like tell the girl that, you know, her husband was stabbed, at least? Don't you dare say anything bad about the cootie patootie. I know, she's just like a neutral, like, you know, guardian who just watches silently over everything. I mean, I suppose she could have told the white-haired girl if Shakapo asked the maid to do something, but, you know, like, that it never comes to that, right? Never comes to that. No, that is not her purpose. Yeah. Nobody asks the head maid to do anything, so she doesn't do anything. That's, you know, beyond what's asked of her. It's pointless, Jacopo. Wait all you want, you won't get her back. If she's going to be writing letters, she could at least write one for you. She looks so pure, pretty as an angel, but God Almighty, is it only how she looks? You've changed a bit. What? Have I? The old you would be yelling and screaming, chomping at the bit to go storming in on the madame. Now you just go quiet. I'm just a little tired. You could break it off then. What? You've already made a name for yourself in high society. Nobody's gonna suddenly start ignoring you. You've more than put her family's name to good use. To put it in your own words, it's no longer necessary. This isn't something I really want to say, but the madame has never liked you. She was married off to a total stranger and forced to leave her home. I am sure she felt very alone. And so she sought the companionship of other men. Anyone who wasn't you probably seemed quite attractive to her. So, without getting violent or threatening to kill her or anything, just end it already, quietly, and without a fuss. It'll be easier for you that way. I cannot. Because you still love her? That's wonderful, Jacopo. After everything, you still love her. That's just blind, slavish devotion at this point. Perhaps it is foolish, unhealthy obsession, but I still do not wish to sever ties with her. I cannot get the image of her smile out of my head. The look of utter elation on her face as she looked through the phonesoscope. Those captivating eyes beneath the veil at our wedding. I will never, for as long as I live, forget those sights. Color me surprised. You're a sentimental one. Well, I guess you always have been kind of mushy, haven't you? True to your heart despite how you may look. That's not a bad thing though in my book. There's nothing but pain in it for you now, but all you can do is wait until she stops writing. But don't worry. If you need to let off some steam, I'm all ears. I'll be here for you until she breaks it off with the other men. No, that will not be necessary. What? I know very well that things cannot continue on as they are forever. I knew it from the beginning and still couldn't do anything. This time, I'm planning on facing her myself. You serious, Jacopo? Yes. I've relied on you for too long. I was afraid of what I might do to her. I didn't want anyone to find out that my wife was being unfaithful, and I thought the best way to ensure that was by locking her up away from anyone else. But the situation is not going to improve unless I do something. If I allow things to continue as they are, sooner or later, word of her infidelity will leak. So before that happens, I must face her myself. I must do something. It's probably best if you didn't. I'll tell her anything you want. Make sure things start improving. I appreciate everything you've done, and I apologize for getting you involved in our troubles. But I'm going to end it now. No, I must put an end to it. This is a problem between me and her. You might get violent again if you see her face to face. Yes, I might. I might do something that would look rather bad for me. But it's reached a point where, until the two of us face up to each other, it's never going to go away. It took me far too long. I wasted too much time trying to find my resolve. I see. You'll need a way to break the ice then. Break the ice? Right. If you've got some convenient excuse to talk to her, it'll reduce some tension and make it easier to bring up what you need to bring up, right? Here's an idea. That transcontinental railroad you've been funding. That's supposed to be opening up pretty soon, isn't it? Yes, it is. There'll be a message by telegraph when it happens, right? You can ask her to be there to hear it. And then you can invite her to ride the first train. You put your heart and soul into this project and it's finally being realized. It's going to be an amazing day for you, and a day like that's ripe for more good things to happen. It's going to be the accomplishment of a lifetime. Don't look so down in the dumps. You're sending trains across this massive continent, carrying on them the people of this country's dreams. Who says you can't stick a dream of your own on it too? Right. Yes, you have a point. A railroad that spans from coast to coast. She's a sickly girl, which makes long trips difficult, but this new rail system should make them much less straining. It would allow me to show her the world. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm getting excited myself. It'll go great, I'm sure of it. Yeah. What's Maria planning? What's her angle? I thought she said if you want to let off some steam, I'm all yours. Yeah, I kind of thought that's what it implied too. I'm fucking good. Maria needs to jump off a cliff. It's become a lake here from all your crying. I'm so... And I was like, Poggies? Someone in this story should write something in cipher? Maybe. This bitch is gonna find a way to derail the train or something. I kept hoping for Jacopo to like figure something out from the letters, but he's just been like a total dumbass this entire time. But at least he's trying to do something now? I don't know, after months though. Oh god, my fucking sides! Seriously, they're goddamn right. The both of them. They keep on trusting me and keep on getting hurt. They don't have to be going through any of this. Oh my god. Maria, you're terrible. And these people call me the Holy Mother. I bet the real Mary's rolling in her fucking grave. Haha. Now, I must say, I wasn't expecting you to make a move, Jacopo. A shame that. The squirming loser, paralyzed by insecurity, is a better role for you. If they do end up figuring it out, tough shit. Doesn't hurt anything, just takes away a bit of my fun. I don't understand why he's so infatuated with this railroad. I mean, I do sort of get romanticizing steel, but my kind of steel's a little smaller scale. Wait, what does she mean by that? My kind of steel's a little smaller scale? Is that supposed to be like a naughty thing that she's saying? I love the music in this game. Yeah, it's great. Oh, it's kind of funny. I might be slightly evil about derailing. Anyway, I suppose it's about time to get things moving. Hehe. No matter how this plays out, you will not have a happy ending, Jacopo. You're gonna get a real taste of just how much I despise you. Maria! Maria! Oh, there you are. Tch. What is it? I'm on break right now. You were assigned to clean the cellar today, weren't you? Well, headmaid's saying it hasn't been done yet. What? I did! I cleaned it. Just a casual once-over, but hey. Well, do it again, and do it right this time. Because if you don't, it's gonna fall on me. And that's supposed to make me give a damn? I mean it. You take care of it. You get enough special treatment as it is. Yeah, right. I heard you the first time. I'll take care of it. And don't you forget it. Oh, for God's sake, why should I be the one to tell her? Is she gone? Ugh, what a pain. Who cares if the damn cellar is clean? Not like anyone's bringing guests down there. Yeesh. I guess I should take care of it. Better than that tongue lashing by the head maid. God, why did I have to be a maid anyway? What a dank place. Ugh, it's so dark and humid down here. Makes me feel gross. Huh. Someone there? Hello? Hello? Is anyone in there? It came from farther in. Whoa, it's seriously dusty back here. Who was supposed to clean this last week? Well, clean the whole thing next time, damn it. Just makes my job harder. Disgusting. Grah. Damn cobwebs. Oh god, oh dear god. I do not want to clean this. Ow! For God's sake, stack this stuff properly. Now I've got to fix this whole mess. For the love of... What's this? Something carved into the floor? Never noticed this before. Someone get bored one day? What do we have here? It's mostly illegible. Let's see. It's not written in English, but my native language. But it's not modern. It's really archaic. Why on earth would an old form of my country's language be carved into the floor of a mansion built here in the New World? Most of it's illegible, but I can make out one section. Our lives shall be forfeit to the witch's curse. Nevertheless, we must lay bare those with sin upon their souls, for the redemption of those whom are pure. Should ye mean not to dispel your curse, we implore of you, O witch, to mark with it only their bloodlines. The blood of the sinners flows through those who dwelt within this house. But not I. What in the... A witch? That's crazy. That's crazy. But why does the handwriting look like mine? They're just coincidentally similar. No one's handwriting is perfectly unique after all. Why am I so sweaty? It's not that hot down here. Nope. Forget it. Didn't see a thing. Not a chance it's real. Just a tasteless prank. This is silly. There's something in this box. Is that a painting? Has that always been here? Huh? White hair, fair skin. Is this the Madame? But then, why is the face all torn up? And her clothes looks really old-fashioned. The paintings seem worn and faded too. Something about it feels off. Excuse me. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's very creepy, unsettling. The writing on the floor and this painting, what is with this house? It's just a painting. Nothing to get weirded out over. I bet I know what happened. Also, she says that this is in the New World, so I guess the house has moved to America? And they're talking about the railroad too, so yeah. I would have to assume that this is like America. Jacopo probably slashed it up in a fit of jealousy. He is a simple man. Seeing this probably wouldn't put him in the best mood. Ha 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 ha. Sorry. What was that? Is someone there? The door is open? Nobody's there. What's this? A painting? Who could have left it in here? Is that me? Why, but my face, it's been cut. No. Why would someone have this painted just to do this? Who would do such a thing? You're like a witch, my dear, like a demon. Your very presence brings misfortune upon others. You're cursed. No, no, I'm not. I'm not. Was it you, Jacopo? Did you have this painted so you could destroy it? Do you really despise me to that extent? Why do you... What did I ever do to make you hate me so? Why? All I'm doing is waiting for you. You worthless tramp. Are those ears only for show? This house has no need of a garden. I always thought you had at least some sense of taste. Silence, it's all your fault. Every last thing. And say goodbye to your freedom. I'll kill you. Does the mere act of waiting impose upon you? Does my mere presence pervert you? Would it be better if I were gone? Would it be better if I left this mansion? If I left you? I don't think I can wait much longer. There's no end in sight. I can't take it any. There's no end. No. I will set a deadline for when I give up waiting. When the project you pour your heart and soul into is complete, When the railroad opens, I will be finished waiting. And then it's over. No. B. No music during the interludes. The Pacific Railroad's last spike ceremony was drawing near by the day. That day was coincidentally the deadline the two of them had set for themselves. Jacopo to confront his wife, and the white-haired girl to wait for him. And as that day approached, she continued to write letters. She wrote the letters purely by force of habit, despite having been worn visibly thin. I expect that she could not stop, that the act of writing was all that kept her from going mad. By focusing her attention on another person through her letters, she was able to maintain her grip on herself. But that day would put an end to her suffering and despair. When the railroad was completed, all their misunderstandings would be cleared up. They would return to the smiling, happy couple they had been when they were first married. The harsh winter would finally come to a close, melting away into the past and allowing them to step into the future. With constant prayer in my heart, I impatiently awaited the railroad's opening ceremony. I do not, after all, wish for anyone to fall into any kind of misfortune. And that goes for you as well, Master. Now, Master, the door is soon to be shut upon this era. Are you prepared to see what happens next? I see. Very well. Then allow us to make our way to that final day. See with your own eyes, Master, how this tale concludes. And please, do not let go of my hand. The night before the opening ceremony, the master of the house headed for his wife's shed. There was a tension on his face, but a surety in his step. He had found the resolve to speak with her. Having locked her away for so long in the shed like a common prisoner, Jacopo was hardly optimistic about what she might say to him. He had undeniably mistreated her and said heartless and cruel things to her, and even gotten physically violent with her. His actions were inexcusable. Oops. I didn't mean to click on that. Even if they were in response to her infidelity. Of course, the very infidelity which had driven him to such behavior had not, in fact, taken place, but he was unaware of that. There was a chance they would never reconcile their misunderstandings and that this predicament would not have a positive resolution, but he still clung to a tiny fragment of hope. He wanted to start over with the white-haired girl, to make a new future with her. With that burning desire strong in his heart, he stood before the door to her shed and called out to her. "Are you awake? It's me, Jacopo. May I come in? I won't hurt you. I will not raise my hand against you again. I swear to you I will do you no harm. I just wish to speak. I would like to have a calm, rational conversation. And as such, I will not enter your room until you've given me your permission. So, may I please come in?" "You won't even give me a response? All right. Considering how you must feel about me, I shouldn't be surprised. Fine. Then you don't have to let me in. But please, at least hear me out. Do you remember the day shortly after we first met when we went on our honeymoon? If you can even call the little walk we took a honeymoon? I was unable to do anything nice for you then either. I had no experience, no idea how to interact with an upper-class woman like you. I didn't know what I should do for you. And yes, I know that makes me sound juvenile. I have a tendency to say things I don't mean the more perturbed I get. I'm sure I said things to hurt you numerous times that day. However, at the photography shop, when you saw the finestoscope, you smiled for me. I was genuinely pleased in that moment. I felt like I had gotten closer to you. I very much doubt that this was actually an appropriate present for a noblewoman like yourself. Jewels, or flowers, or something like that, something beautiful would have certainly suited you better. And I knew that. But I assumed you would have been given gifts like this countless times in the past. You are, after all, a beautiful woman. I did not want to have to compete on the same field as those other men. I wanted to be special. No, I wanted to be unique to you. No one had ever shown you anything of the sort before, had they? Frankly, I wasn't sure if a woman of your status would take any interest in a phenestoscope, or phenakistoscope at all. Sorry, I've been saying that one wrong. I imagine you've thrown it out by now, but I choose to believe that you sincerely liked it on that day. That, if just for a moment, I caught your eye. What am I doing with my life? You're listening to a love story. Even if you started seeing other men afterwards, that moment was real, wasn't it? Our marriage was at its core nothing but an arrangement between our parents in exchange of money and influence. I don't know. I question as well that it's nighttime here. Why do I do this? Well, if you guys need to go to bed, you should go to bed. What time is it? Oh, it's like 9:40 p.m. Is it bedtime? Is it time to go to bed? Time to go to bed for school. No, I'm not talking about bed. Are you talking about like being in my stream? My stream is so sad. I must hear this ending even though I'm working. No. It's fine. But that day, I really wanted to find out what happens in the end, like what happens between Jacopo and his wife. I loved you. I yearned to see you smile as if I had loved you my entire life. The Pacific Railroad has finally been completed. That's the project I've been funding. Everyone thought it was crazy, but a railroad now stretches across the breadth of this country. A joining ceremony will be held tomorrow. It's going to be a grand event. Locally, they're planning on doing a gun salute, and the sound of the last spike being driven to the ground will be transmitted across the country via telegraph. I've procured a telegraph so we can listen to it here in the mansion. In your condition, you would probably have trouble handling the crowds at the telegraph station. But here, you could celebrate in the comfort of your own home. I suppose what I'm saying is, I want to celebrate this with you. I made arrangements to make that possible for you because I wish to have you there with me. Would you be willing, tomorrow, to celebrate the completion of the Pacific Railroad with me? Would you be there at my side? Please, say something. I want to start over. I know very well what I've done to you. You may be at fault yourself, but what I did is unacceptable. But what I did was a consequence of my overpowering love for you. I swear it. Why? Why will you not answer me? Say something, anything. Please, please. You can hear me in there, can't you? If you don't want to, you can just say no. If you do reject me, I'll set you free. I won't hurt you, I promise. The door is not locked? Who opened it? Hello? A humid spring breeze brushed against his cheeks. The drawn lace curtains appeared to glow in the gentle moonlight. The white-haired girl was not in her room. Where have you gone? Stupefied, he glanced about his wife's chambers. To my eyes, the neatly organized room appeared no different than any other day, but to his eyes, it was pale and hollow. For the one who was supposed to be there, who was supposed to be waiting for him, was not present. He could not hear her voice from anywhere in the shed. In its place echoed a dry rustling, a sad, pitiful, empty whisper of a noise. It came from the lone object left abandoned atop her desk. The phenakistoscope. It was the one present Jacopo had ever given the white-haired girl, a toy made of paper. When spun and viewed in a mirror, it created the illusion of a man and woman dancing. You still had this? That's ridiculous. I assumed you had thrown it out. The white-haired girl had evidently made considerable use of the phenakistoscope. The paper was visibly worn and tattered, warped in places, and had even begun to yellow. It spun slowly in the wind, rustling and rustling and rustling, spinning in an endless reminder of that day the year before, though there was no longer anyone around to look through it. Why? You were with other men. Why would you keep something I gave you? It's so worn. Why? A letter? Beneath the ever-rotating phenakistoscope lay a single sheet of paper. As if drawn to it, he scanned the contents of the parchment. It was a letter addressed to Caro mio Jacopo. The salutation, written in his native language, translated as follows: My beloved Jacopo. Did the fruits of your dream turn out as you had hoped? I'm sure it was wonderful and impressively fast. A train that could travel across a continent as large as this is like something out of a story. I wish I could have been there to see it. I'm sure it would have been quite pleasant, like the day you gave me the Phenacus wheel. Am I being presumptuous? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought I would keep waiting for you forever, no matter how much you hated or ignored me. But I made up my mind, so I'm sorry. I decided I would wait for you until the railroad was completed. I foolishly thought that you might invite me to the opening ceremony. But it seems I am not good enough for you. I'm going to take my leave of your house, so you needn't concern yourself with me any longer. However, I do have one request. Please do not forget about all the letters I wrote. Think back on them from time to time. Do not burn them all, for they contain my thoughts, my feelings, my words, a record of my love for you. Remember when you can that I was always watching you. I'm sorry I'm having trouble writing. My ears are ringing. There's a voice whispering to me, calling me a witch. Maybe it's your voice. My vision is blur. I'm not even sure what is going through my mind. I'm sorry this was all I was able to write for you. I'm truly sorry. I will leave the Phenacus wheel behind. It was my dearest treasure. Farewell. I loved you. 5/8/1869. So this was before the day, the day that it was completed? What? What the hell is this? He was visibly rattled, and unsurprisingly so. The mention of the Transcontinental Railroad's opening ceremony, the letter she had written, her dearest treasure, her profession of love for him, and above all, the mangled text that appeared to have been written by someone not entirely in their right mind. Everything about it served to amplify his befuddlement. You waited for me? How can that be? The joining ceremony is tomorrow. It hasn't happened yet. Why did you have to leave then? I'm here. I came for you just as I planned. The ceremony's on the 10th. A second later, Jacopo gasped. The date written on the letter was the day prior, May 8th. Originally, the ceremony was planned to be held on May 8th, 1869. However, due to bad weather and a labor dispute, it had been postponed for 2 days. This can't be. I made sure you were informed. I had Maria. The madame is having an affair. Maria. No, you couldn't. Scattered fragments of memory began coming together in his mind. Maria was the only one who had informed him of his wife's supposed unfaithfulness. And though the letters had not been addressed to him, thinking back on it, they had all been about him. In one letter, she had mentioned treasuring a gift. Jacopo had assumed it meant a gift from another man, but in fact, She had been referring to the phenakistoscope sitting atop her desk, still spinning in the wind. At long last, he finally made that connection. And at the same time, he realized that the only person who could have altered the letters was someone they both trusted, Maria. Never. She never even once betrayed me. She was not unfaithful at all. She waited unwaveringly for me. And I refused to believe her. I caused her pain again and again. But his realizations came far too late. The white-haired girl's spirit had broken, and she was no longer at the mansion. Had he caught on to Maria's machinations sooner, things would not have turned out as they had. But he was much too late. Maria, why? Why would you do this? Clenching the letter from his wife, Jacopo stormed out of the shed in search of Maria. Then who freed, the girl? I guess Maria probably let her out. She's like, okay, see ya. I'll let you out to, like, free you. I'm not allowed to let you out to go see your husband, but I'll let you out to, escape the house. Jeez. At least he knows she cares for him. Yeah, but, like, she went crazy. Her devotion to him was absolute. Makes my heart fly. Makes my heart flutter. What is this? Wee. Wee. She was not in the room assigned to her. Where are you? Where have you gone? Maria! I feel like, wait, is there a movie or something where someone screams the name Maria? I need a girl like her. Wait, who? Maria or the white-haired girl? Yes. Oh, there is a movie where someone screams the name Maria? Several maids were roused from the slumber by the racket, but no one had the courage to speak up as the master of the house frantically charged through the halls. He needs a girl like Jacopo. The white-haired girl, I need a girl like her. Well, I mean, I suppose everyone would love to have a girl that devoted. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want a girl that too soft-spoken, you know? I'd want a girl who can speak her mind and, you know, knows what they want. I need a girl like Cootie Patootie Maid. The one who just stands back and does nothing. She just does nothing. Eventually, he arrived at his own chamber. He was certain he had closed the door before leaving, but now a sliver of light shone through the gap between it and the frame. From within the room, he thought he could sense someone's presence. When he opened the door, there he saw, comfortably perched upon his own chair, a woman. I've been waiting, Jacopo. Ooh, look at this outfit. Wow, that's so evil looking. So evil. Nice room you got here. Though I guess that's only natural, you being the man of the house and all. All these fancy furnishings. You do know this stuff's too good for you, right? And then me. I get the barren little maid's room. Drives me up the wall. So hey, Jacopo. Cleared the air with your little lady yet? Maria! I love that look on your face. I'm guessing you didn't make things better then. You know good and well that she's not even here anymore. Well, yeah, but I still want to hear you say it, you know? I want to hear it from your own mouth that you couldn't keep a leash on your woman, so you locked her up, drove her mad, broke her down, and then she ran away from you. Go on, say something. Climb back on your high horse and start shouting like you always do. Why, Maria? Why would you do this? Why? Why do you think? Because I fucking despise you. I've been trying to figure out how I wanted to end things, but then they just fell apart on their own. The fates are smiling down upon me, I guess. Nonsense! She was waiting for me until the day of the joining ceremony, and I was going to see her on that day. You knew the ceremony had been postponed. That's what you get for putting it all in my hands. For thinking I'm the only one on your side. What, did you think I'd just tell her like a good little maid? Not a chance in hell. I mean, talk about some fantastic news. You both picked the same day, but you got the dates different. Absolutely perfect. Maria, is that how you've always felt? How long have you held this grudge against me? How long? How long? How goddamn dense can you be? Must be nice living in your little fantasy world, Jacopo. And this is the next capo famiglia? Oh my god, my sides! So you've always hated me? At the very least, I fucking loathed you since the minute we had our reunion. At first I did try to convince myself you had your reasons. Didn't make it any less unfair though. You had all your money, all your power, and everything else you stole from me. And then you go and get hitched to this pretty little lady. Oh, don't try to act like you're the victim here. This is all on you. Do you have any idea how I felt? Fallen from grace, made your goddamn maid, having to suck up to you. Do you have any idea how infuriating that was? Or did you think I didn't know anything? Did you think I didn't suspect anything? If you did, then you got your head way up in the clouds. So you were motivated by your grudge against my family, the Berzatis? Precisely. That's exactly it. Your father wanted so badly to be the capo famiglia, wanted so badly to be in power, that he murdered my dad and grandpa. They say it was a carriage accident. But the ground was all torn to hell where it happened. Okay, so here she kind of reveals as to why she hates him so much. So this kind of makes sense. She believed his dad killed her family, so... What are you guys doing? There's a lot of quotes going on here. Right, I want to know that name. I want to know who the master is. She's so evil looking. Whose name? Like the name of the head maid? Bitch face look, lol. Neo buzz fight. Fight. Your shitty timing is surprisingly consistent. Wait, what do you mean my shitty timing? About the quotes? She looks possessed. You want to tell me what kind of carriage accident causes it to explode? As soon as my dad and grandpa died, your dad took over as capo famiglia. The balance of power in the factions began to change. My family and anyone with ties to the Campanellas was either exterminated or exiled. The Berzatis took control of the city. My grandpa's Cosca became your Cosca. No one in their right mind would be naive enough to think the Berzatis didn't have a hand in that. The great Campanella family, bitten by their pet dog. Except the dog had rabies. And as a result of time, that lush, historic land will wither away and die. My dad and grandpa, buried in that dried up earth, are screaming in their graves even now. You can't prove me wrong, can you, Jacopo? And now, first in line to be the next capo familia is you, his son. Naturally. Feels pretty good, doesn't it? Slaughtering my family, leaving us to wallow in the mud, while you live here like a fucking king. Because of what your family did, I don't have a home to go back to anymore. No house, no prestige, I have nothing left. And that's goddamn outrageous. The Campanellas are supposed to run that city, but instead, you filthy Berzati curs are crawling over it like some kind of infestation. I am a legitimate Campanella, but I'm stuck being your goddamn maid. See, okay, I always wondered about this. I was like, why is she so happy sounding? That's why I was really suspicious. I'm like, this is a childhood friend, and their families are supposed to be like against each other, sort of, in a way. And here she is happily working for him as a maid. I never quite understood that relationship, so that's why I was like suspicious about that. Azirlin always tries to quote 2 seconds after me and doesn't get a result due to the quote down. It's comical. It happened 3 times already. Oh, I see. Oh, so you're always beating him to the quote. I see. The quotes are very repetitive today. Yeah, I don't know. Nightbot is really weird. Like, it's not like, it doesn't seem like true random. Right, she didn't have to work for him. Yeah, I always kind of wonder, like, why was she working for him? And then when they revealed later in the story that their families were rival families fighting for control in that area, which I didn't quite understand that when they first presented that story, because the story's focus was more like to show their childhood friendship, but it was in that story that you kind of get an idea that their families were rivals. She could have done other things, yeah. Well, it just was weird that she was working as a maid for him and they're like childhood friends and stuff. So I wondered maybe if he was doing this as a favor to her or something, but still, it's like, it couldn't be a very good relationship to have working as a maid for your friend, you know? Her choice of colors makes her titties look like literal watermelons. Okay. Literal. Right, lol. If I hadn't been born a woman, I could have become the capo familia after my dad and grandpa died. But because I am a woman, I couldn't retaliate. I just had to sit on my hands and watch the tragedy unfold. It was absolutely miserable. So I had to make you suffer as well. I had to make you twice as miserable as I was. You had no reason to hate anyone but me. Why did you make her a part of this? Did you have some grudge against her too? Not particularly. I actually rather liked the madame. Sweet, pretty, kind-hearted, timid, and fragile. Trusted every word I said. A splendid little toy. You thought of her as your toy? Now, can you really call me out for that? You can't. You have no right. You never cared one bit about anyone else. They're all footstools to you. It's a little too late to find yourself a sense of morality. This whole thing, it could have been avoided if you two just had a single conversation. But instead, the both of you came crawling to me saying, "You're my only ally, Maria." How dense can you be? Of course I thought you were my ally. I trusted you, as I'm sure she did too. Then you should get your eyes examined because you can't see a damn thing. Maria. My god, it was beautiful. The way you two blindly trusted me, creating your own misunderstandings and causing your own pain. How you could never seem to get on the same page, watching it all fall apart. Maria. Is that everything? The extent of your grudge and all you did? Yep. That's everything. All that's left is for me to kill you. Whoa. Her boobs are like really... they're really popping in that corset there. They really pop. I don't know why her thumb looks weird in this shot. Like, that almost looks like an unnatural thumb. Kinda. What do you want, Mr. Pillow? Why are you asking Mr. Baum what he wants? Oh, the begging emote, okay. I like how there's like, how the artist drew her with like, action lines in her eyes. Exclamation mark. Looks more like an index finger rather than a thumb. Yeah, like it looks too long to be a thumb. But I mean, to draw holding a gun might have been a little difficult this way. Hold still now. I wouldn't want to miss. Maria, you! Does our past mean nothing to you? Was that oath just empty promise? How could it when you remember it so clearly? Fine, I'll explain it for a little romantic boy. Bad grown-ups will even take advantage of good memories. It's time I finally return this to you, Jacopo. That cartridge you gave me, packed with your disgusting sentimentality. Ha 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 ha! Killing you ain't the end, though. All you Berzati curs, I'll send every last one of you straight to hell. My revenge has just begun. Even if you had been a man, you wouldn't have been a suitable capo famiglia. I like how he Jacopo threw in that last like kind of insult there while he's dying. That last insult. My God, you have an army. Are these all like different? Yeah, they're all different channels. Gee, so many emotes, so many subs. I love that it's while he's dying too. Like, you're not worthy. Like, even if you were a dude, and you kind of do look like a dude, you wouldn't have made a good one. You should have aimed between my eyes, Maria! Jacopo! Whoa! Whoa, he killed her! Jacopo shot her! Bullseye, man! Right between the eyes and forehead. Okay, well, not between the eyes, but kind of, you know, in the middle of the forehead. Headshot. Why? That's one small as bullet on a gigantic forehead. I mean, have you ever seen like a real bullet? Bullets aren't really that big, you know? Bullets are smart, but they come out big on the other end. From the exit wound? Have you ever seen, oh, Mr. Bomb, have you ever seen like a gunshot wounds? In like real life? Have you? In a panic, I pulled the trigger, and from the barrel, a bullet went flying. Quite literally right between her eyes. Oh, you have? In real life? That's kind of badass. They didn't die, did they? Would anyone ever believe me if I said this wasn't how I wanted things to turn out? The rain just keeps on coming. Wonder if we'll be able to go home today. Hey, Jacopino! Say something, you little wuss! Be quiet. You're gonna give me a headache. The lightning's way louder than me. Eek! Ack! You jumped, Jacopino. You're such a baby. You jumped too, and stop calling me that. Don't be scared. Don't cry. I'm not crying. Your eyes are damp too. I'm not crying, not at all, not one bit. Liar. Ahahaha. There's no end to this rain, is there? I'm fine if it doesn't stop. There's nothing at home for me. You don't want to go home? Your parents don't get along, huh? That's got nothing to do with it. Liar. You've got it good. Everyone loves your grandpa. Whenever anyone needs something, they come to him. Now there's a great man. Huh? How'd my grandpa become part of this? Oh, no reason. Not everyone likes him. He gets just as much hate as love. Grandpa's not really a model citizen. He's mostly just shrewd. Are you jealous? I'm not. My old man is, though. Huh, is he now? Well, your dad's got his good points too, I think. Like, I don't know, he seems like the kind of man who can accomplish big things. though he seems a lot stricter than my grandpa. Oh, come on, I don't get you. What are you climbing up for? No reason. If you don't want to go home, then how about we go someplace far away from here? Huh? Once it stops raining, let's get out of here. Head up to the capital, find some work. We can make it work, the two of us. Oh, and we'll bring Nero, of course. If we could, that would be nice. Break free of the city and its outdated traditions. Head somewhere bigger, more forward-thinking, if only it were possible. It's alright, Maria. I know you were just joking. We wouldn't be able to find work anyway. If the two of us ran off, we'd be starving in a month. You'd have to be blind not to see that. Right. Let's go home once the rain lets up. Yeah, once it does. But until then, I know. Let's sing. Sing even louder than the lightning. Then maybe you'll stop crying, Jacopino. I'm not crying. Come on, let's sing. La 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 la. I don't know. La 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 la. I don't know what song this should be. Maria. I may not put it into words, but I trust you understand that I consider you a dear friend. Listen to me, Jacopo. My actions were justified. I did what I did for the betterment of the city, this land. The Campanellas are too conservative. Under their control, this country will atrophy. Progress will continue to lose steam. If we don't push forward, we will fall further and further behind. Before long, you will be made the next Capo Familia. But until that day, you will cross over to the New World and establish the Cosca there. Unify us, bolster us, make us strong. I'll handle things back here. I won't let the Campanellas try and strike back. What? You want Maria to? It's dangerous to keep a Campanella so close by. She has to be taken care of. If you insist, but do not let your guard down. Betrayal is a constant companion in this world. I'm giving you my revolver. Keep it on you at all times. Glory everlasting upon our blood and upon this earth. Wait, even his dad warned him about Maria. Like, even his dad warned him. Like, geez. Yeah, I work in trauma. Sometimes they die. No, I mean, like, okay, I guess you're saying some of the patients with gunshot wounds have died. I see. Sometimes they live. Yes, such are chances. Oof. The best I can give you is a job as my maid. If I show you any more obviously preferential treatment, the Berzadis are liable to step in. Money, power, respect are enough authority to not take orders from anyone. I thought that if I could obtain all that, I would be able to give you your freedom, and her as well. Hey! Not you. It's like, shut up, Nightbot. I work medical as well. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, Mr. Baum works in the medical field as well. I wanted to give you both comfortable lives, but none of that got through to either of you. Aw, he caused pain for his wife, and then the other girl was too hell-bent on revenge. Ugh. Everything is slipping through my fingers. Her love, my friendship with Maria, both of their smiles. Master! Master! What was that sound? Eek! So much blood! Maria? What happened this time? You keep getting stuck witnessing the worst things. What? Call a doctor. Someone with tight lips. Do not call the police. And don't make a scene, got it? If so, then go on. Yes, sir! Right, not everything has slipped from my grasp. My money and influence are all that's left. This is what you wanted, though, is it not? You sought money and power, no? Aren't you going to go? Yes, I will. But first, I would like to ask you something. What would you intend to do from here? What am I gonna do? Exactly the same as before. There is but one thing for me to do. I see. Will you eventually find solace in your riches? The way I see it, money and power can be your ally, but they can become your enemy in the blink of an eye. If you do not put them into words, your feelings will never make it through to anyone. For unlike money, humans are not measurable by their appearance. Ooh, hello. Okay, hi. Hello, radio. He failed to communicate to anyone what he held within his breast. He was chained down by his place in society, his pride, his relationships, and his own heart. And at some point he found himself in a position where he was no longer able to speak his mind. After enough time, he likely forgot how to be genuine at all. Or perhaps someone like him simply would not, even if they knew how. In any event, there are many things in this world that cannot be communicated without being put into words. How sad that his tale should end without him expressing how he truly felt. How hard it must have been to never clear up his misunderstandings. After Jacopo's confrontation with Maria, the Pacific Railroad was completed, as scheduled. Celebratory cheers shook the new world as the last spike was driven into the rails. Jacopo, however, could not even manage a smile listening to the telegraph. And I am sure you can take a guess as to why. The people with whom he wished to share that moment were not there. Shortly following her death, Jacopo held a private funeral for Maria. Then he commenced a search for the white-haired girl. But he did not do so alone. He hired others to help, did everything in his power to find her, tirelessly searching for many, many years. Years! However, he never was able to locate her, and he spent the remainder of his life alone. Money, power, renown, servants, the world around him was always quite lively, but solitude was his only companion. He waited, and he waited, and he waited for the white-haired girl to return. The years crawled by, and with no family or loved ones at his side to care for him in old age, he died alone. I wonder what happened to the white-haired girl. The door before you slowly drew shut. You could no longer hear the raucous sounds of the men from within the den. The faint scent of the cigarette smoke, however, lingered in the air. Staring vaguely at the closed door, you noticed something was amiss. The maid who had been holding your hand was no longer at your side. You glanced around, but she was nowhere in sight. Down the corridor stretched only darkness. Not having anticipated this, you were unsure how to react. What's the matter? You lost, or are you just trying to take in the sights? A voice called out to you, but it was not the maid's voice. Caught off guard, you spun around, confused, in search of the source. Where are you looking? I'm over here. Yeah, there you go. Little more to the left. Following the voice's instructions, you found yourself facing a wall. You look like you've just seen a ghost. Hey now, come on, don't turn away. Yep, you got it. I'm the one talking to you. The voice was coming from within the painting. When you had passed by this wall on your way to the third floor, a magnificent landscape painting had been hanging there, but now the canvas was a deep shade of black, as if it had been dipped into a vat of ink. Been a while since I've talked to anyone. So, tell me, you can hear me all right, can't you? Splendid. Been so long since I've had a conversation. I was afraid I might have forgotten how to talk. So tell me, who might you be? You don't know? Well, isn't that quite the pickle? Then, how about we have a little chat, eh? You got yourself turned around and aren't sure where to go, yeah? Well, I'll be happy to tell you anything I can, just ask away. The painting sounded rather high-spirited. Perhaps he was simply excited to have the opportunity to speak with someone. So you decided you would ask the painting a few questions. So what should we ask? There's 4 things to pick here. I was thinking of saving this soon, but I was waiting for like the 4th story to start. Maybe I'll go... Who am I? I'm kind of curious if this person knows who I am. Who am I? Just because you don't know who you are doesn't mean you can go around asking other people. I'm not a person, you say? Well, no, you're right, but I'm not gonna know anything about you that you can't tell me yourself. I mean, from where I'm standing, you look almost like a walking cloud of shadow. I can't even tell you what you look like. The maid who was with you before, does she call you master? I see. But the question is, which era's master are you? How many doors have you been through? 3 doors, eh? And of those, did any of them bring anything back? Well, not an easy thing recovering yourself. Or maybe... Whoops. You weren't behind any of those 3 doors. Yeah, that's gotta be it. That was your first time witnessing those tragedies. Yours is another door. So tell me, how'd you feel looking behind those doors? Was it frightening, saddening, heart-wrenching? Well, let me tell you something. You were able to hear them, or bear them, because they weren't your tragedies. If the next door you open is yours, will you be able to hear it, or bear it? Will you be able to accept your own tragedy? It's one thing seeing another's suffering, but your own. You have to face emotions you wanted to keep buried, secrets you wanted to keep hidden away, and pain you wanted to forget. Do you think you'll be able to accept them as your own? If you can't, I wouldn't blame you. If you chose not to reclaim your old self. Nothing wrong with erasing your memory of something if it was so bad you didn't want to face it in the first place. Let it be rewritten as someone else's story. That'll make it a whole lot easier for you. Because you never know, the most unfortunate tale of all may well be your own. Or perhaps that goes for everything about you. You won't know until you get it, or until you see it. Well, that's true enough. But once you do, there might not be any turning back. Or do you mean to reclaim your old self no matter the cost? If you do, if you're sincerely prepared to do that, then be wary of the tale that comes next. Any tragedy that seems too beautiful to be real is precisely that, a fabrication. If it turns out you're someone from behind the next door, then perhaps you're my... Who are you? Who am I? What am I? Where am I? Where was I? Are you asking me? God, I love this soundtrack. It's so lovely. Yeah, I do. This soundtrack's really great. Okay, what's the next question? What do you guys want to ask? If no one picks, I'll just quickly pick something. Save? I did save already here, the choice there. Ask it all. Well, I know, I'm just kind of going in whatever order, if that even matters. Who is the maid? Might as well ask her that directly. I think after I ask all these questions, I'm gonna probably call this stream. I'm getting kind of sleepy. Maybe I'll take a short nap before I have to go out. But she won't say till you've regained your old self? I see. Well, in that case, if you want to know, you know what you gotta do. It's entirely up to you whether you make an ally or an enemy out of her. There's no guarantee and she's even right in the head. You never know, maybe you're not the only one who hasn't found themselves. What is this place? Oof, talk about some hard-hitting questions. I'm probably not the one who'll be able to answer that for you. I don't have a very deep connection with this mansion, you see. I swear it. I got nothing to gain from lying, do I? It's my regrets that have turned me into this. I wasn't summoned here by no one. That said, there is one thing I can tell you. This place summons people. People who have ties to something that happened long, long ago. No one knows anything even happened. I didn't know either, till she told me. Though I haven't the foggiest how much of it is true or not. Are you here because you were summoned by her? Or did you come here of your own free will to find someone? If you came here of your own volition and you weren't summoned by her, then mayhaps you'll be the one who can break. Who are you? Me? Well, as you can see, I'm a painting. Why did I end up as a painting? Hard to say. Maybe I was reborn as a painting because I used to really like art. Though there are things I painted that I wish I hadn't. Maybe that regret's what turned me into this. Hopefully I get the chance to apologize to him about that. Anywho, no point in getting into any more detail than that. Wouldn't mean anything to you, so enough about me. Oh, right. You don't know anything about yourself. A shame that. Alright then. A favor for you since you can't tell me about yourself. If you run into him, could you tell him I really regret what I did? I know I should tell him myself, but well, as you can see, I am stuck here. Can't move an inch, so I gotta ask for help. I feel absolutely terrible about painting that picture. I know, yeah. The deadline's way past on that one, but that's what makes it regret, yeah. 'Cause you can't take it back. By the time I'd realized it was too late, he was already dead. He's long since passed away. Huh? How are you supposed to give a dead fellow a message? Well, for all you know, the dead could be wandering these halls too. So please, if you come across him, just please tell him I said that. That I didn't mean any harm with that painting. Or maybe you are him? Haven't talked that much in a long time. Feels great. And now that I've got that out of my system, I should be able to get some really good sleep. I could use some sleep. You're probably still wandering in the dark right now, but I really hope you find the outcome you want. And I mean that. You can either reclaim your old self, or you can toss it aside. The choice is yours either way. Now since it looks like your escort isn't showing up, what do you plan to do next? How about taking a look around the place since you've got a little free time? Could you come across some things you wouldn't with her around? Oh, right. If you're gonna go exploring, I've got the perfect thing. Stick your hand into the canvas, would you? The painting was still wrapped up in an impenetrable darkness. A perfect, all-consuming void. The man who told you to put your hand into it. Wait, hold on. Did I read that wrong? The man had told you to put your hand into it. The man had told you to put your hand into it. What do we do? Reach into the frame or refuse? Or should I just leave this for the next stream? Actually, no. I'm gonna pick something here. The depth of this novel is FR. What does FR mean? It hits the heart. It does. It does. Reach in. Okay. Oh, I didn't save it. Oh, well. I have it saved at the choices before with the questions. You extended your hand for the painting. The moment your fingertips brushed against the darkness, it swallowed your entire hand up to the wrist. Ah, no, no, not there. That tickles. A little to the right. As the man in the painting had instructed, you groped around the inside of the darkness. Before long, you felt something hard at your fingertips. Clenching the object, you withdrew your hand. Your arm was still intact. You spread your fingers and there, you found a key. Ah, that tickled. With that key, you can access the master bedroom. A while back, she tossed it to me. The damned litterbug. So, yeah, it ain't mine. Don't worry about giving it back. However, I bet there's something worth seeing in there. If she felt the need to toss that key. Alright, well, I'm gonna get some sleep. You take care. If you happen to learn my name, come pay me another visit. Should the fancy strike you. Having said that, the painting fell quiet. In your hand lay a small key. It seemed rather antiquated and vaguely familiar. Silence once again drew over the corridor. You stood there all alone, but no sign of the maid. After considering it for a few moments, you decided to explore the mansion on your own. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna call it here. Call it here. I was looking for a chapter end or like a start of the next story, but looks like that's gonna take a while. Or maybe this is the last story. Let's see if we can find someone to raid. Oh, look at that. Amy is streaming right now. I just got back. Oh, hello. Hello, Secret. Welcome back. You came back just in time to join the raid. Lord. Sorry, Mr. Bomb, I'm too tired, but at least we got to see the end of the third story, so I'm glad we could conclude that. It's 5 AM, going to bed. Oh my god, what are you doing up so late? What are you doing up so late in Sherlyn? Yeah, it's only 1:30 PM in the afternoon. I'm just really tired. I'm sleepy. But yeah, we're gonna go say hi to Ami. I think he's playing Gunfire Reborn, which was a game that he was playing before. Looks kind of interesting. I've never seen this game before. But yep, thank you guys for hanging out in today's stream. And we got to see the ending to that third story. The tragic ending. It was kind of meh with the way the white hair girl just ran away. I was like, okay, I wish there was a little more to it, but oh well. But yeah, looking forward to what the next story brings. Even more tragedy. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or morning or night, wherever you guys are in the world, and I will see you guys in the next stream. Join the Discord if you haven't. I should be better about advertising the Discord. Bye, kittens. Stay awesome. No, you. No, you. God nat. Good nat. Good nat. Now dit. Where are you? South Korea? Oh, okay. I don't know how to say good night in Korean. Peace and love. Yeah, thank you. Night, everyone. Bye. Let's say and give Amy a good hello, a nice hello. But yeah, see ya.